me. So it was a great, great first experience. So
now, you went from that experience to not getting your contract picked up. Do you think I would, hope that the door is open for you to return once again? Do you think so? And what would it take, since they, obviously have seen what you've done?
Yeah, I mean, it's all ups and downs. And after I did the TV spot, they told me they were bringing me on the road to Baltimore the next week, and somewhere else they were going to keep the angle going. And I went from thinking I had a contract then to never getting a call back. And then I think I was told at another point I was probably going to get signed, and I didn't. And then when I finally did, it was out of the blue. So it's always been that way, And even when I got released, I got a message, and Nova started talking to me, and he was like, there's really no reason. He's like, they're making a lot of cutbacks because they're not going to send everybody to Florida, and half the guys are pretty much going to be going home. And I think his exact wording to me, or of some sorts, was, you're really young, and they don't see you doing. And at that point, I was 21, I think, and he told me, creative doesn't see them having anything for you within the next 2 or 3 years. So rather than paying you, might as well let you go out and do it on your own. And, if you're hungry enough, the door's always open. So I left on as positive of a note as I could without making it to, being a regular on TV.
Right.
So at this point, I think, when I left there, I went back to New England, kind of regrouped. I had a bad ankle injury I was nursing, so I finally had a chance to recover. And then I went out to Harley's place for, the better part of '08. And then came back to New England because when I was at Harley's, I actually had injured my knee again and had to get another surgery. So I came home for that, and now I just finished rehabbing that just in time for the Super 8. But through it all, it was kind of a good learning experience, in the sense that sometimes it's good to, especially after getting released from WWE, because it's tough emotionally, I think. It's good to have that setback where I had 6 months of rehab to kind of reevaluate and, work on my body, work on my promos, work on whatever it may be, and just kind of look at the business from afar. So it's refreshing. Now at the point, I did a workout with WWE maybe a month ago, and they were super positive towards me. They were like, you're doing great, and we like your new look, we like this. They keep tabs on me. So it's not something that I'm looking for. I'm not looking for a job tomorrow, but I'm having a whole shitload of fun on the indies, so it's kind of I think it's open for down the line.
So you said a workout for the WWE. What does that mean? What is a workout for the WWE?
Well, they're all different. Sometimes they'll say to, whether it be Harley's place or Killer's place or anything else, they'll kind of do a little, hey, we're in town for TVs, and we want 4 or 5 of you guys to come down, and during the open ring time, you might get to work out, and the agents will have an eye on you. This one specifically was a little different, where they kind of came to us, and Chaotic Wrestling was able to get John Laurinaitis and Ty Bailey to come down to the school, which they've never seen. And I think it partly had to do a lot with, them wanting to see Killer's school, and they've now had a good relationship for about 5 years. So they came down to the school, and about 10 or 12 of us were invited to work out in front of them. So I had a match, all of us, we each had matches, and everybody had 8 minutes basically. And they had a match that day, so then, and then you do all the little stuff. You give them your updated 8x10, your updated bio, whatever it may be. And that was that trial. But most of them, that's all it consists of. You're either at TV or you're at some sort of camp, and usually have a match, maybe a promo, just enough for them to kind of look at you and know what you're all about.
Okay.
You've done Ring of Honor as well, not just WWE. You've done some dark matches in Ring of Honor as well, correct?
Yeah. Ring of Honor is actually a really major goal of mine right now. I worked maybe 2 or 3 dark matches over the last few years, but it was all that. I think I've really come a long way over the last maybe 6 months of my career, as far as developing in the ring and developing my persona. I think you get comfortable over time. So my first few tryouts didn't go bad with them, but I don't blame them for not picking me up. I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready to walk into the company and help them make money at the time. Whereas now, my last workout with them went great. Their last show at BU, Boston University, I did a pre-show match with Grizzly Redwood, and match went awesome. Grizzly's a great, great dude, and I'm hoping to do a workout with them again, possibly in Philly or New Jersey sometime in the coming months. So hopefully if things keep going well, it's just an opportunity that, you prepare for, and you hope when it comes that you succeed and do well with,
Definitely. And with their two top stars leaving, that opens the door for somebody else to step through.
Yeah, you would hope it's good timing, I really hope it's I met Brian Danielson just a couple times, and Nigel a few times because he lived down in Kentucky, and both were great dudes. So hopefully they do well, with whatever's next for them. Now I hear Nigel's going to TNA, not WWE, and Danielson's still going for WWE, but hopefully they both do well. But at the same time, I'm ecstatic to know that there's a couple slots opened, and, as guys move up in their roster, obviously the lower tiered spots will be open for guys to hopefully make a name for themselves. So time will tell. I'm hoping, I'm very, very hopeful for it. If I get it, I feel like I'm ready to, the best of it. So.
Where do you stay? I mean, where are you right now? On the indie scene, in the Northeast. Is that where you particularly stay?
Yeah. I live right outside Boston in Everett, Mass, and so mainly I do, whether it be New Hampshire, Mass, Connecticut, Northeast Wrestling is a great place that I've been working for here and there, and they do a lot in Connecticut. Trying to branch out right now a lot more than ever before. I wasn't really keen to. I was big on relocating. I wouldn't mind moving out to Missouri and stuff like that before, but I never really did a lot in New Jersey and New York, so I'm trying to get myself out to that area. Philly area seems to just be booming right now. Chicago. It seems like that's where a lot of the indie stuff is coming, with the whole Dragon Gate USA, and a lot of big talents have been coming from that area lately. So I'm hoping to just get my name further out, towards the west of the New England area. So we'll see what happens over the next few months.
Definitely.
Was Super 8, the Super 8 tournament, was that the biggest thing that you've done so far, outside of getting on WWE TV, of course, but was Super 8 the biggest?
I don't know if it gets much bigger, in the indie scene. There's a bunch of tournaments out there now that have mimicked the Super 8, but, the Super 8 is definitely the original juniors tournament in the States. So it was a huge deal for me to get, invited there, and I thought it was a hell of an opportunity, and it really was a great, great time. I was really happy with all my matches that night. But it got me really hungry to look into some of the other tournaments. Yeah, I know they didn't do the Ted Petty for whatever reason this year, but I'd love to get into the TPI. The Battle of LA is coming up, and it's awesome to go out there and work 1, 2, 3 matches, whatever it be, throughout a night, and it's a good challenge to tell that story and to make sure you're conditioned enough to withstand the beating for the whole night. So hopefully I get to do more of those, because it was just a hell of a time.
Yeah, definitely. Now, getting to the finals, is that something you can, hold your head high, or is it just, just doing the show, or, is that how they look at you in stature right now?
I don't know. I know that it was put over pretty big that both Nick Logan and myself are from New England, and we were only the second and third guys from New England to ever make the finals in the Super 8. Nick Logan was just the second ever to win it. The last was 10 years ago when the late Steve Bradley won it. And so that it's definitely an honor, to follow in his footsteps. But at the same time, I would think the further